Hey everyone, welcome to another year of the ECRO World Tour, formerly the Chasing Tour. If you were here in the beginning, it's great to be back. We have an awesome night of racing ahead. We've got Chasing Bianche. The pros are going around right now, the women, the men shortly after this. But if you're here and you're interested in the virtual edition, which is Chasing Bianche, um, let me know in the chat if you're watching, if you've got anyone you want me to cover or focus on. More than happy to call those guys out and give them a little bit of airtime. Everyone loves being on TV. But as you can see on the course profile, we've got a pretty lumpy race tonight, and this one is going to be a little challenging. So we're on just a shakedown. We're in Makuri Islands, 53.5 kilometers. So it's going to be a solid 80 90 minute race for the top A's and B's, and then a little bit longer for the other grades. And apologies in advance for those lower grades. I might not be able to hang around for the entirety of your race. I will try, but I have to get up in a few hours to race in time slot for myself. So I'll do my best. We're starting out tonight going up the Harbour Festival climb. So things to watch out for early on are about 2.5 k's in, we do head up this climb, and some hearts are going to be broken there. I'm sorry to say. It is about 2.5 minutes watt per kilo kind of test. You can kind of see in the profile that it does ramp pretty steadily before a few little kickers at the end. And historically, I find even though it does flatten out across the top there, because there are gaps, riders do tend to like to push the pace. So we won't see the A grade race decided there. We may see a decisive split in B grade, and I think C, D, and E will definitely see splits happening as those riders hold on to the faster groups. If we keep following the profile, we go down. We've got a little bit of flat ground to latch back on and try and regroup before we're climbing again. We're up through the Slot Canyon, heading back to Neokyo City. So you can sort of see similar length of climb and elevation gain as we climb back. We've got the Rooftop KOM next, which if you've survived the first two, you're probably going to be fine there. Not really expecting a lot of action until we hit the main feature of tonight's race, which is this double KOM, Castle KOM, and then into the Temple KOM. Everyone's absolute love to hate climb up on the gravel, because of course this is Strade Bianche, so you need some gravel. So we go up to the top of Temple KOM. That is going to be the decisive period of this race, certainly for the A grade race, and possibly some other grades as well if they're not already split up. That double climb going back to back is going to be decisive. We've then got a lovely time to recover. And if we do see some regrouping, or we do have some groups together, we're going to get an absolute barnstorming finish back up that first climb. So again, that really hard 2.5 minute watt per kilo test. It's going to be just like the ride up into Siena in the real Strade Bianche. So exciting stuff. I'm really stoked for this. The fields are enormous. They're incredibly high quality. The rebalancing of the grades for the World Tour has worked really well. So pretty even numbers across all of these groups and big fields. If I have a quick little look, we do have almost over 40 races for A, B, and C grade, and 35 in D, 28 in A, as per Zwift Racing. So a massive pen. It's going to be a challenge to try and hold on to and follow 5 races all in one, but I'll try my best. And by all means, yeah, jump in the comments, let me know what grade do you want to see, any riders you want to see. This is your coverage as much as anyone's, and it helps to know that people are watching, because my wife thinks I'm kind of crazy for taking time out on a Saturday night to be broadcasting a virtual race. It's about to start. I'm going to jump off camera and just be in the background on audio, pushing all my buttons and keeping a tab on things, but I'll keep an eye on the chat. So let's get you in with Zwift itself, and let's get into it. 24 seconds until we are off and racing. So as I said, expecting a pretty frenetic start. I'm in with B's at the moment. We might just jump. We're going to try and jump around all the grades, try and cover this very quick start. It's going to be a hard run into this main climb. So some big teams represented here tonight. The Sisu team have been very accommodating in providing me some nice little tidbits and bits of trivia for the coverage. So I appreciate that, guys. That's going to be good. So I'll be sure to mention them as we go along. And let's just work our way up through the field. For those who don't know, Zwift does no favors for people who try to broadcast races. They make it very, very hard to follow these things. And yes, unfortunately, in the absence of knowing exactly who's at the front, this just scrolling through the rider list is my best way to get you up to the front of the race, and then we'll have a little bit of a look back and see what is happening. So as expected, the A-grade races are kicking off here. Christian Grupp, well-known agitator, and Eugene Kanchan, again, a familiar name for those that raced in last year's series or watched any of these. So two riders already with a 4-second gap. They're not hanging around, and kind of expected this, to be honest. First race of the season, we've got some nervous people in the peloton. They're ready to get going. They want to get moving, and Eugene Kanchan and Christian Grupp are kicking off straight away. The Sisu team, led by Christiansen, is already starting to put in a little bit of a chase. You wouldn't think a move like this is going to stick quite this early, but you never know. I can see Christian Meany. Yeah, Stefan, you're not wrong. Always one crazy. In this case, there's two, and familiar agitators for those that have participated in this series before, especially in A grade. So still see some Bs and Cs in this main group. We might just switch back to the peloton now, and let's have a little bit of a swing around and see what's happening. We do see that Christensen is doing his best to bring back this gap. Jess is counting the climbs. Classic. Yeah, 7 bumps to get over as we head towards this Harbour Festival climb. As we see, let me get my live tracker up so I've got some proper names for you, for those that have their name in here. We do have Christensen from the Sisu team. Morten Christensen from the Sisu team jumping along. And yeah, maybe just a bit of a fade climb happening here. Some smart tactics. Make sure you're up the front. Thank you, John. I'm sure she is proud of me. She's got a funny way of showing it. Normally rolling her eyes when I talk about anything to do with this virtual cycling world. In the Bs, Hendrik, teammate. So I've joined the OTR team this season. Very excited to be racing with these guys. Very well organized group, very competitive, absolutely bonkers lineup across B grade and A grade. So very excited to be racing with them. Hendrik wearing that OTR jersey with pride here at the front of the B grade group as we do head on to the Festival Harbour climb. And things start to ramp up. We've got a little gap at the front, 4 seconds to Kanchan and Grupp. And let's maybe have a look back and see what's happening with the other grades. And this is going to be tricky to keep a tab on, but we'll do our best. We do see Strandgaard Kirk in C currently positioned really, really well. Really strong start here in the C grade race. So he's still in the mix. Lots and lots of A's and B's as we scroll through the list. A little bit further back now. See if we can find... Oh, where's our D grade leader? We gotta go. Here we go. Bang Madsen from the D grade. We're seeing a bit of a split here back at 80th position in the peloton, and this is probably where we're going to see the D grade race kind of kick off. So they're back at 80th. We'll keep an eye on that one. Nice little contest brewing there. We've got a few D graders there in the mix. I do see. Oh, wow, yeah. We do see Chris HSN currently leading the E grade race back in 111th overall. So we make a note of that. Let's go back to that one as well. Redshaw on Chris's wheel here and on his case, chasing hard. Let's go back. Let's go back all the way to the front if we can. Trying to do this as best we can with the limitations of the Zwift platform for broadcasting. Let's see if we can find someone who is a little further up the field. Get up to Joshua Wesley in 55th. Trying to get up here because I know this is starting to get pretty spicy at the front. Yes, indeed. We do see Strangard Kirk. Really strong climb here from Strangard, leading the C race at the moment. Let's see if we can get a little bit further up and see what's happening at the pointy end here. It does look like it's all come back together as we see Christian Grupp now back with the main peloton. Not as much attrition as I thought here. Still, the A's and B's are well and truly together. So let's get in a little bit closer with these guys as they do come through that first span. It's a sizable peloton still over this first climb. I thought maybe we'd see a little bit more attrition, but no. I can see plenty of A's, obviously plenty of B's still in the mix, and a couple of C's as well. So nice little race forming here. The A's and the B's still very competitive. I do expect we'll see most of this group probably stick together now to all the way to that double KOM. But let's check in on the C-grade race. So we have Strangard Kirk from the DZR team has made it into this peloton and just scrolling through. I think that might be it. I think we're back to Blue in here, who is in a nice group of Bs here. We'll get some help here, but Strangard Kirk has taken a stranglehold on the C-grade race. A really nice Festival Harbour climb there and holding on to that front group. So looking really, really good as this second group forms here and does start to swell in size. But a 15-second gap opening up in a very strong A-dominated peloton up the front. So not expecting to see that gap close. I think if he can hold on, this one is Strangard Kirk's race to lose in the C's. Let's have a quick jump over to Zwift Power Live. Let's have a look at a B-grade peloton. So it looks like about 15 riders still at the front for the B-grade team. So shout out to some teammates, Hendrik Romswinkel and Julian Alea, both from OTR Racing. Simon Port up in that front group as well. So really, really strong start. Still a big group, all working well together here. As we make our way down the descent, and I'll see if we get to the front here. We do see a little bit of action. So much for this group staying together all the way to those next KOMs. We see some movement off the front. And some familiar agitators again. So we have Morten Christensen, Eugene Kanchan, and Christian Grupp just animating things a little bit off that descent. Let's have a look at this gap and see. Nothing too serious yet. Nice little halo bike here in the peloton. Who's on that? My sister team. Is that Christensen? It is Morten Christensen rocking the Project 74 halo bike. Let's get a little stick with him for a little bit. That is a very fine looking piece of Zwift equipment, Morten. Very, very nice as this group comes back together now, despite the attempts from some of our favorite attackers to break it up. So swing around here. Nice little gap this group has got. Let's see how many we've got. So here we go, 46 in this front peloton. Sitting in with Josiah Boda, who a lot of you will know if you've raced in the series before. Certainly a regular around these parts. So the A-grade and the B-grade race still very much on here in this front group of 46 riders. We do have one C-grade rider. Let's have a little bit of a look at Mikkel Strandgaard from DZR. Let's kind of have a look at his profile and see what he's been up to. So a bit of club ladder racing, some nice strong riding, a very experienced racer, and some nice results of late. So really, really strong effort there. But yeah, a really good Palmares, lots of experience. So definitely has earned his rating, has earned his spot here in the C-grade peloton. what we like to see. Right, almost time for the Rock Canyon climb now for this group, as we do see some action again just up the front. I might just quickly check in on what's happening ahead of this next climb before we duck back and check out the D grade and E grade race for a little bit and see what has gone on there. This big peloton of 181 riders is not making this easy. So some familiar names at the front. Again, you'd never guess. You'll never guess who's attacking. It's Morten Christensen looking to animate things a little bit off the front. Nothing doing, making life very hard. We can see a little bit of stretch at the back, including Mikkel, our C-grade leader at the moment. So this is ECRO at its finest. It's one thing to make the front group when you're in one of the lower grades. It's another thing to hold on as they attack and surge, and you are on your absolute limits. So the C-grade race looks like it could be up for grabs again, and a few Bs maybe dropping off as well. Let's have a look at those suffering at the back end of this front group and see if we've got any names we want to pull out here. Simon Port from OTR, bench teammate here in the mix. Just starting to get distance here. He's got Mikkel Strandgaard for company, who's working valiantly here. 179 beats per minute. Mikkel is working incredibly hard here to try and hold on to this front group and preserve his lead in the C-grade race. He's opened up a 37-second lead on Serrano and Angioni. Find themselves in a nice chasing group though, so what's going to happen here? It's just that painful 2 seconds. Can he make it up? Sorry, this climb doesn't provide you with a lot of opportunity to do that, unfortunately, and we see that gap now extending, sorry, out to 3 seconds. I might just stick in here a little bit. Let's watch this drama unfold. Simon Port and Mikkel Stangard did their very best to try and latch back onto this group as we go up a few more, dropping off the back. Stuek, Favre, Moller just struggling to hold the pace. This front group down to 39 riders now. Still a pretty healthy A and B grade representation, and we do have some movement off the front as well. Source is actually a great. I have tried Source. I've never liked it for racing. I just found it was too much information, but it'd be handy for this, wouldn't it? That's a great idea. All right, I'll put that on my homework list because, yes, Zwift does not make it easy to do this. All right, in the front of the race now, we do have some aggression off the front with Adrian Le Griffin, another familiar agitator for those who've been racing the series before. He's right up the top of the rankings. I think in very, very top of the rankings in A grade tonight. In a second. Actually, I haven't seen Adrian Hassala's name, which would make Adrian Le Griffin our #1 ranked racer in the field. So this is not unexpected. The gap might be though 4 seconds already, and looks like it's opening up. A powerful climb here from Adrian Le Griffin up through the slot canyon and doing some damage at the back. We're getting a bit of a split here. And the B grade race looks like it is being cut off from the A grade lead peloton, which is interesting to see. So here's a new name to me. Bulo, I'm pronouncing that terribly, I'm sure. I don't know how to handle that accent, but let's go have a check at. We have Henrik Bulo from ECKD. Had a great little run, promoted to Ruby recently, but as we know, the category boundaries have changed in ECRO, and so you can race in B grade as a Ruby up to a rating of 2000, and Henrik is well below that, but a little bit isolated here. And stuck in the middle, only a 2 second gap on this chasing group, which includes Julian Olea, teammate. Simon Fox, who, Simon Fox from Dirt, who's a familiar sight for me. Raced him a number of times before. I'm really glad he's not racing in slot 4 because he's a very good rider, and I wasn't really sure what my chances would be against him. We do see Henrik from OTR as well. Ian Barrett is in here. So Adam Upshaw from Dirt, another familiar name. So a really nice B grade race here, forming at the front. We've got 6 or 7 B grade riders here now in this group, and we split that off from the A grade race. So an A grade peloton of about 24 riders. Might only be 24. It depends if Askew can get back on here from the Jet team. He's working very hard. 195 beats per minute. That is an incredible heart rate. A lot higher than mine can go these days. I believe you me. So group of 25, looks like we still do have Adrian the Griffin off the front being chased down, and we're going to be down to a group of 24 now in the A's by the look of it. I shouldn't really ask you. We'll see if you can make it. So A grade peloton are away. Let's go down through the list now. Let's see how Mikkel Strandgaard Kirk is doing for DZR. So currently leading the C-grade race. We did see him with a 37-second gap. Now gapped by his A and B grade compatriots, and we are down to 23 seconds to this chasing group. So the C-grade race looks like it's all going to come back together. Mikkel in that unenviable position of being in no man's land. It looks like he won't catch onto that group ahead again, and just going to have to slowly watch this time tick down. And let's have a little focus in on the C-grade race, and then we'll work our way back down while they work their way up to the Rooftop KOM up front. So we do have William Webb. Yes, William Webb, another familiar name from the Cryogen team in this group. Bluin from Dirt, Manzano from Zabi, that's a new team name that I'm not familiar with. Scarpa from the very strong Sisu team. And Aaron, teammate from OTR. And this is a nice, healthy group. So the C-grade riders who've managed to lob into this B-grade group getting a really nice tow along here. And looks like we've got... How far are we going down here? 6 riders here. So 5 chasing Mikkel Strandgaard out the front. And with some nice help here. 6 chasing. 7. Okay, very healthy. Very healthy C-grade race. Still everything to race for here. This is going to be a fascinating climb for the C-graders. Let's work our way down. Sorry to the D-graders and E-graders. There's always so much happening. I'm trying to keep a tab on 5 races all at once. It's pretty hard to do, but I just had a quick look at ZP Live, and we have a very, very good race here in D-grade. So I'll have a quick look through who we've got. So Mario Mudmaker, Pete Keller, Nancy Lapao, Sean Griffith, Soren Bang Madsen, Chris McKenna, Lee Zambino, good friend of mine, Ovidio, Paul Brownbill, all in the peloton still. So those first 2 climbs haven't been as decisive as we thought they might be for the D-grade race. We have 9 D-graders currently sitting at the front of that race. So that's going to be an exciting one to watch as well. It's fantastic racing already on this course. It's produced some surprises, if I'm honest. I wasn't really expecting to see quite as many season Ds up. We normally see 1 or 2 managing to hold on to those front groups and get away. Not happening tonight, which is fantastic. In the E-grade race, looks like we do have a decisive split there. We'll find Chris, who's lobbed himself with a nice group. This is a really, really great spot here for Chris HSN. And he has got himself away from Matt Redshaw. So 33-second lead at the moment on Matt Redshaw. And another 21 seconds back to Christoph Russo, Marco Italiano, Nicola Lupi, and Eckhard Meltz, who are a little bit further behind. So this one is looking good. This one is looking good for Chris HSN in E-grade. He's got a lovely group here. Plenty of wheels to hold on to. So if you can hold on over these next climbs, particularly this Rooftop KOM, he's going to be looking really, really good to take this one home for the E-graders. So we'll keep an eye on that one. See how those gaps evolve. Let's make our way back up the front, shall we? And my good friend David Lewis is racing. He's just up the road from me right now in his garage. And let's see if we can find him. All right, we are back with the front of the race, and of course, there is aggression. Always aggression. And a lone leader. Wow, Eugene Cancian has put on the aggression while we were just taking our time enjoying what was happening in the other grades. Adrian Griffin back in the pack, and Eugene Cancian has kicked on over the top. 16-second lead now as they just come through Castle Park. We are now heading to the Rooftop KOM. As you saw on the profile at the start, not as big a bump as some of the other ones. I'm not really expecting major moves there, but it's been a very aggressive race here up the front, so anything could happen. Still a sizable peloton chasing him down, although maybe a little bit of a split between this kind of second group of riders: Adrian Griffin, David Lewis, Morten Christensen, and Christian Grupp. Just a little 2-second gap here on the others. And is this something that they're going to try and make stick? I was chatting to David before. He said if there was an opportunity to get into a break, he'd give it a go. He's kind of keen on the making this a hard one, but no, it's all coming back together. So plenty of legs still back in that peloton, closing this one up as they bring it back together and go in pursuit of Eugene Cancian, who's got a 17-second lead. Keeping in mind we have another 37 kilometers to go. It's a bold move. Bold move indeed. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him. And speaking of bold strategies, we see Saber from the Sisu team. He is their number one rider. It's an impressive roster the Sisu have assembled for this season. Johan Saber is absolutely up there in the best riders in this ECRO World Tour. Setting off in pursuit of Eugene Cancian all on his own. Looks like it might not be all on his own for too long though. Adrian Griffin starting to push the pace and bring this group along. We'll see if he gets any help from his other compatriots in the peloton as it's stretching now. We've got a real line. Maybe we'll jump in the back of this group before we go back to the B grade race. And let's have a look at what damage is happening here. Richard Wilson from Sisu trying to follow his teammate here, who's not making life easy for him at all. We can see on the helicopter view now. Single file and some gaps opening, some wheels being dropped here. Richard trying desperately to get back on to this group. Will they get a little bit of relief and all come back together? Pace is looking incredibly high here. Desire Boda also struggling here just to get onto that wheel. And hold on, we're going to go up a little kicker here, which is would be the end of these two if they don't surge. But beautiful. Look at that effort there from Richard Wilson. Beautiful surge. And he's back in with the group. He's found some safety there. As we see the front of this group pushing hard up this little kicker. I'm not on the Rooftop KOM proper just yet. But all that aggression, Eugene Cancian's lead has been cut to only 10 seconds. So aggressive, exciting racing as always from this A-grade peloton. They love to make the race hard. They love to attack. I love what we're seeing here. You could say he's saber rattling up the front. I'm glad I got that comment while he was still pushing. Very nice in the comments. Thank you for that one. All right, a little bit of a pause here in this group. We see a bit of a chase group. Saber and the Griffin now taking it upon themselves over that little kicker to put in a little bit of speed here. See if they can join up with Eugene Cancian and make it a group of three up the front of this race. 4 seconds now on that chasing group, and not a lot of big numbers coming from that group either. As you see, these two rolling turns nicely working well, extending that to 5 seconds. So we'll come back to that one. Evolving situation there. We do have the B grade group not far behind. So the B grade race just getting over the top of that little kicker now. A little bit of A grade company as well, but we have still a sizable group by the look of it. It doesn't look like anyone has been dropped off so far. We'll jump in with Julie and Alea for a little bit as we figure out what has happened here. So a few A-grade names that we saw before in the race, but still a decent size B-grade group here. Seven riders now in B grade. They've got about a 40-second gap on the rest of the field. So this is looking good. For the winner to come from one of these seven riders: Adam Upshaw, Simon Fox, Mike Ambrose, Julian Olea, Henrik Bulow, Hendrik Romansfinkel, and Ian Barrett. So some really good riders here. Two from the OTR team, two from Dirt. Contesting the win here. Apologies for the cough. The worst thing that can happen when trying to do live commentary. Julian's asking when a coffee break is coming. Unfortunately, Julian, it's not coming at the half an hour mark like it would in a standard ride. So 7Bs still in the mix as they are heading towards the Rooftop KOM. We'll drop back down now to the Cs, and this looks like a competitive peloton as well. Let's see if we can find. Might have gone a little bit too far. Am I just having a look? Oh no, Dave Farnsworth is here. So ZP Live suggested that he might have taken a little bit of a lead, but no, he hasn't. We have a number of C-grade riders here in this group, sort of about group 3 on the road, I think. Mikkel Strangard still in here, William Webb, Carlo Angioni, our rider from the Philippines for OTR, Luis Manzioni for the Zabi team. And they're making up a group of 8 at the front of C-grade. So really, really competitive racing so far on Chasing Bianche across A, B, and C-grade. Plenty of riders still in contention. We're seeing B and C just kind of happy to sit in that front group. Not the same level of aggression as we see up in the A-grade race, which is not unusual. I think they'll be waiting to see when to make those moves and waiting for that double Castle KOM into Temple KOM. Deadly, deadly combination. Let's check in now with our D-grade riders, and it looks like we still have a decent race up here as well. So 8 riders in the mix for D-grade. So this is a nice group. Let's have a look at another Project 74 back there in the mix, and a nice size group here as well. So 8D riders competing here. We've got Mario Mudmaker from the HISP team, a video, the Pahu, Pete Keller, Sean Griffiths, Lee Zambino, Soren Van Madsen, and Chris McKenna from the Coalition team, making up this leading group of 8, only 25 seconds back to the following group. So maybe we'll have a quick look back there. And that group is the group containing our E-grade leader, Chris HSN, who's got a dominant lead now on his competition. So this could still come back together. The climb might separate it, but we've got nice sized groups here. And this is the art of ECRO racing, often to these lower grades, is finding yourself in the right group. And like Chris is showing here, yeah, this is the way to go about catching a win, is lob into a faster group and then hold on for dear life and let them drag you away from your competition. So beautiful ride there from Chris. You can see a minute 20 lead for him on a pretty healthy looking chasing group of E-grade races. So still potential there. A minute 20, if Chris doesn't manage to hold on over these KOMs and does get dropped and let on his own, there is still potential here. This big group could sweep him up. So very, very far from over in the E-grade race, but Chris has taken a stranglehold of that one. Looks like our most likely winner across all 5 grades at the moment. We've got some nice leading groups in all the others. Let's jump back up the front. As they do come through the top of the Rooftop KOM as predicted. Not a hugely influential climb. It's a lot smaller than the other ones that we've seen. But look at these gaps up the front. These aggressors have continued to push hard. So we saw Eugene Kenshin. Last time we checked in, he only had a 10-second lead over these chasing 2 of Sabre and Le Griffin. Extended that now just by a few seconds on that KOM. But the big story is that gap to the rest of the field. So 40 seconds now back to this A-grade peloton. Looks like they've held together pretty well over that climb. Still some big numbers here, so plenty of engines to pull if they can get their act together and chase. On this flat section now, actually I might just quickly flick back to the profile. So you can see we've gone over 3 climbs now, just coming down that rooftop KOM in the middle there, and heading now towards those first 2 marked KOMs in the pink highlighting there. And so this is where the race will be won and lost, particularly in A through D grade, and we'll see if Chris can hold on back in E grade to the lead that he has established. We'll jump back in now with our A grade group. We'll keep an eye on these gaps. So 25 seconds now. Let's get back there. All right, 25 seconds now to the Griffin and Sabre. And we've lost. There we go. Eugene Canton, 15 seconds up the road. So holding pretty stable. Eugene putting in a little bit of a dig there. Not sure what that was all about. Maybe just had to just get a little bit of momentum going. So cruising along, 149 beats per minute, if you don't mind, at 400 odd watts. Wouldn't we all like to be able to do that? With 2 chasing the Griffin and Sabre. And a bit of a stalemate at the moment. We'll see if this A-grade peloton can get going. Actually, I should get back to a big A group. I'm just missing the rooftop KOM as a rule, it seems. Let's have a look at what we've got. We see Josh Wesley from the Sisu team just off the back. Is he in that front group, or has he managed to... Well, these groups might be coming back together, actually. Oh, no. Here we go. Now we're with our front group. So coming down the other side now of the rooftop KOM. I'm just managing to miss this for all of the grades. I should really go and check out the C grades. See if we can get them on this climb, shall we? We might just catch... Nope, we've missed them as well. Great work, Adam. The camera work is a little bit off today. As we've just seen these groups now flying down this descent and heading out. We've got a little bit longer on the next KOMs to figure this stuff out. All right, we've got the timing right with the D grade group though, so let's sit in with them and we'll watch the rooftop KOM as they're about to kick up and make their way up towards that banner. Oh, that's the second D grade group. Let's see if we can find our leaders here. All right, this is our second. All right, now we're back in with the leading D grade group. Sorry, we've got riders all over the road here today. It is a challenge at the best of times to hold on to all of the narratives that are going along, but we're going to try our best and see how we go. So with the D grade group, we have still this front group of 8. They've held together over that rooftop KOM. So we sort of predicted this, that the rooftop KOM wasn't going to be decisive. We saw the A grade move go already. And that was sort of before this climb. They just used that climb to extend that advantage, and that's going to be a really fun one to watch. Our leading group of 8 C's and D's look like they've managed to navigate this. Actually, a bit of action in C according to Zwift Power Live. So let me just jump in. And indeed, we see, wow, quite a bit of damage to the C grade group. So these are our leaders for C now. And Rooftop KM has made a liar of me in this grade. So we did have 7 or 8 riders together. We now have Mikkel Strangard, William Webb, and Martin Scupper. In this leading group, they've latched on with a nice group of Bs. It's sort of our second B group on the road, I believe. And we've got 3 Cs embedded here. You see Bullo, who was in the pointy end of the B grade race. Now drop to the back. So it looks like Zwift Power Live is just kind of still trying to catch up on exactly what is going on this course, which is not making life any easier. I do think we have our C grade leaders here. Yeah, looks like we've had a bit of a split on the Rooftop KOM. So this could be our podium for C. They've done really well here to break off from the rest of the group. William Webb, Mikkel Strangard, who's been strong all race and prominent, and Martin Scarpa from Sisu with an 18-second lead now over this. Let's see, we call it a chasing group. So we have Dave Harmsworth, we have Manzano, we have Angioni, we have Aaron from the OTR team a little bit further. So chasing group of 3 here. Trying to get back to 19-second gap to those front 3 C riders. That's going to be a heck of a challenge when they've got so many good B grade riders in with this mix. Let's have a quick look at this group. So this is our leading C group. Some nice strong B grade riders here as well. So we'll see what happens on the next 2 KOMs, whether these riders do manage to stay all together with the B graders or whether these 3 C grade riders do get detached. Chasing group of 3, Aaron from OTR unfortunately dropped, sitting in 7th at the moment, and he'll just have to excuse me, he'll have to continue on his own, trying to hold that pace. See if he can hold on to a nice placing. Let's jump back in with our D grade race. So the D grade races do look like they managed to stick together pretty well over that KOM, and we do have 8 riders, that same group of 8, who have called out a few times now in a nice little mixed group back here. Managed to climb and descend together. They're heading on their way out to the KOM, or the double KOM. And let's quick flick through our E-grade riders here. Let's see. I think that Chris HSN is still... He's skipped away, he has indeed. So, here he is. So Chris is our E-grade leader at the moment. Has been gapped. So interesting. So Chris, he's managed to forge out a really nice lead. He's got 1:36 on this next group. Does it have an E-grade rider in it? It's hard to tell. I'm looking for Martin Heinzelman from Dirt, who looks like he's about 1.5 minutes back from Chris. So a little bit of a duel here to watch. And does look like this group, it's a big group actually, that's catching back on here. So 6 more E-grade riders, at least. I think Eckhart Meltz was just off the back of this group. And so we've got 6 E's in here. Chris HSN is vulnerable. He's been dropped. Can they get back? Can they reach him? So something to watch there in the E-grade race. We'll catch back up with that battle in a little while. Let's jump back up the front and see what is going on with the A's. All of a sudden, we're in bright sunshine. Eugene Canchin's picked up a sprint jersey, one of his many conquering efforts here, and just continuing to extend this lead. This is a Pogacar-like solo effort here off the front, looking to just take this one by storm. And continuing to look strong. Heart rate is still just nice and steady at 150. Just a nice little tempo effort here for Eugene Canchin, attacking with still another 25 kilometers to go or so. Can you believe it? And these two chasing, Adrian Griffin and and Jonas Saber. I think I said Johan before. Apologies, Jonas. Let's try and get that right. These have been working together now for quite a while now. They've gotten up and over the Rooftop KOM together. This attack really opened up in the canyon climb. Eugene going out on his own, extending that lead up the Rooftop KOM, and now just trying to tempo his way and held on to a nice little lead. This gap was about 40 seconds last time we checked in, so this group not getting completely distanced, but maybe just looking after the legs a little bit before we do head up these two crucial climbs. There's still so many riders in this group. Um, Plenty of engines if they can get their act together and push hard. You'd expect some aggression up these next couple of KOMs, which are about to hit. So I might just sit in with this group for the time being. Let's keep an eye on the gaps. Slot up the front, 20 seconds to the Griffin and Sabre, 48-second lead to Eugene Canchin up the very front of the peloton. Might come back shortly. They're about to hit the next climb, and it is the crucial double climb. So very keen to see how that one plays out. We'll just jump back in quickly with our B grade group. So it was a little bit all over the place the last time we checked in here. Let's jump in the drawing and let's have a look at this group. So a few riders here. This is our leading group for B grade. We have Ian Barrett, Julian Alea, Hendrik Robbins-Finkel, Hendrik Bullo, Simon Fox, Mike Ambrose, and Adam Upshaw. So still 7 riders here with a nice gap of over a minute on the chasing group. So this is looking like our B grade winner and podium coming from this group, and we'll see how they handle the next couple of KOMs to decide this one. Back in C, we had 3 and 3. We had, if we can find them. Actually, let's just go back up to the front. We'll use we'll watch these guys go up this castle KOM and then watch these time gaps and see how this one's going to shake out. I'll have a quick look at Zwift Power Live to see what's going on. So in C grade, we do have Martin Scappa, Mikkel Strangard, and William Webb holding a 22-second lead over Carlo Angioni, Luis Manzano, and Dave Harmsworth. So still 3 chasing 3 back there. But remember, those front 3 did have a B grade group with them. And 4th through 6th are all on their own, working together, trying to close this gap down. Keeping it at about 20 seconds. So with the climbs to come, still possible. And then the gaps are kind of opening up behind that. And in D grade, we still do have our front 8 together. So we'll probably come back to them for the climb and decide what is going on. Yes, Stefan, the A pace is absolutely bonkers. You're not at all wrong there. On to the Castle KOM now. This is a fascinating climb, this one. Always really interesting. We seem to have lost Eugene on our leaderboard here. He's just got so far away. He's disappeared off the leaderboard. He's that far in front. 42-second gap now. Back to this group. I sort of thought we might see some aggression here that really started to close this gap down, but I mean, plenty of watts, but just the watts up the front are just too good at the moment. A clear gap between Jonas Saber, Adrian the Griffin, and then Eugene Canchin even further up the road. Let's have a look at what's happening in this group. Holding together still pretty well. We're not lined out yet, so maybe a little bit of shouldering arms of this group. They're just looking to hold together. Maybe the tempo KOM is going to be where the impact is made. We go now through this twisty section through the village. And then we get climbing again back up towards the castle. Where's Eugene Canchin? Eugene Canchin, how far up has he got? 33 seconds now to this group. So these two now making their way up to the banner. They'll have a little bit of a flat run across to the bottom of the Temple KOM. And Zwift now showing these two as 1 and 2. So looks like something has gone on with Eugene Canchin. Still showing up on Zwift Power Live. But no. So maybe a maybe mechanical for Eugene, or maybe just had his fun and had chosen to go home. Wouldn't be the first time he joined a race. He just lit it up and then disappeared. So I'm not sure what's happened there. Maybe someone, if anyone has any insider information, you can let me know. What's going on there? But our runaway leader, Eugene, has run away. And as Adrian the Griffin and Jonas Saber come through the top of the Castle KOM, they've got a 31-second lead over the chasing peloton. So the complexion of this race has changed quite a little bit. Oh, in the comments, Martin says that Eugene may have been booted from the race. A little bit of spice in the chat. Maybe some questions over the veracity of those numbers and the lead that he had managed to open up there. So it wouldn't be an ECRO season without some drama and some back and forth on power data and numbers. So watch this space. It looks like that one is still going to be decided, but the official release is with us right now. So Jonas Saber and Adrian Griffin find themselves in the box seat now, 35 seconds ahead of this A grade chasing group. We'll keep an eye on that 35-second gap. Let's go back to the B grade as they head up to the second part of the Castle KOM. Let's see if we've had any attrition. It doesn't look like it. Looks like this group is held together so far, so good. Punchy little finish coming up. We haven't really got to watch these guys race, so let's sit in with them for a little bit. And have a look at how this is going to play out. So I've still got 7 riders here, same 7 that we've been tracking for a little while now. And some good chatter in the A grade group around power data and dual recording, which is not unusual. So this will be interesting to see. Obviously, at the pointy end of this racing, they are going to be questioning, challenging, interrogating, looking for a certain level of verification. So we'll see how that one plays out, and hopefully we see a fair outcome there. Once all the facts are in front of us, we won't adjudicate on that one now. Thanks, Jason, in the comments. I'm glad you're enjoying it and watching it as we see Hendrik Bullo just putting a little bit of an effort here. We haven't really got to watch this B grade race yet. So while the A's are heading out to the temple, thought maybe we'll just watch this a little bit and see if we got any action going on. Looks like they're going to leave it to the temple, or maybe they're just too closely matched here to really drive much of a difference. Coming through the banner now. So we're going to see this group of 7 continue to battle it out. Really, really good battle up the front of B grade. I do see the leaders of C here. They're not far behind, really, coming up now to this final lumpy part of the Castle KOM. I don't know if I'm looking forward to racing this myself. I don't mind this one, actually. I don't mind a bit of punch and recover. Probably the temple is the one that I'm not looking forward to, assuming I make it this far. So sitting in with Mikkel Strangard Kirk, riding strongly for the C grade group as he has all race. He's been lining it up. We still have William Webb here in the mix, looking good. Holding on, nice mixed group here. Nice, plenty of cover here for the C graders, and they have a 29-second gap now on this chasing group of 3 who, to be honest, are doing phenomenally well considering they're chasing about 25 riders, mostly B graders. They look to be working pretty well here, and they're just keeping this gap manageable. And we do have the Temple KOM still to go, so if they can keep working well and riding, it looks like they've got enough of a gap now in the rest of the field that we'll see. Now, this will be our top 6, you would think, and you would think these will be our top 3, but let's wait and see what happens. I did grab a sight of our D grade leaders, so a little bit further down the temple, or the castle, sorry. Let's see, it's still looking like this is our front group of 8. It's CP Live. No attrition yet. No, we still have 8 riders at the front. It's another really good battle. I think it's been phenomenal racing. A lot of these races I've covered, the C, D, E-grade race have been over very early on. A race, one rider has latched on to the faster group, and that's been that. But big groups, big front groups, 7, 8, 9 riders in these lower grades. So excellent racing, and maybe these new cat boundaries doing their job, which is really good to see. Shout out to Lee, Lee Zambino. He's just going by Z at the moment. Lee and I have worked together a little bit to help him with some of his training. I've kind of left him to his own devices now, but he has worked incredibly hard over the last few months to build up his base and get into this season. So really, really cool to see him up the front. We'll give him a little bit of thumbs up to let him know that we're watching. Let's have a quick flick to the E-grade race. Chris HSN holding on to a 40-second lead from a chasing group of 5 riders, despite being distanced. Let's go just quickly see if I can find him before we go back to... Oh, he was there. Before we go back to the A-grade group on the Temple K, when we found a friend, this is good. So Chris HSN was leading the A-grade race, the E-grade race, sorry. He got dropped. He was all on his own. It looked like maybe he was under threat, but now, 28-second gap. Okay. So he does have some wheels to follow, but this is far from over yet. There's a big group. Let's check him out now. This is the group chasing down our lone E-grade leader. So they need support there for these E-grade riders. They want to try and bridge that gap, and we could have a pretty barnstorming descent and finish here, which is exciting. Let's go back to our A-grade riders, and this looks like a race in 2 now. Jonas Saber, Adrian Griffin, 45-second lead, working incredibly well together here to break open this gap. Anyone who's raced in Zwift, has raced on this course, will just know everyone has a love-hate relationship, or maybe just a hate relationship with this climb. So apologies if this is bringing back any bad memories for you. I know it is for me. So it looks like a race for 3rd now from this group. Not a lot of road left to make up, big gaps. It's almost all descent back to finish. So unless we see a concerted effort here from this group, it looks like 1 and 2 are going to be fought out between Jonas Saber, Adrian and Giffen. I'll make sure we catch up on that. I'm really looking forward to that. That could be a barnstorming finish. Love a head-to-head up into Siena, or our virtual Siena. That's going to be really good. Rubbing my hands together for that one, quite literally. As these two now getting up to final stage of this KOM, I'm keeping it nice and close. Looking really, really good there. A few seconds off that gap. But it's still going to be very, very hard to close. Although we have, what have we got? 16, 17 kilometers still left to go, but they are mostly downhill, like I mentioned. So that's going to be a tricky one. Let's go and sit in with our B graders now. They're a little bit further down the Temple KOM. Is anyone going to make a move? That's a question with B grade. They have been following each other, watching each other, sitting together as a group. This whole race, pretty much since that Slot Canyon climb, we've had this group up the front. That was when the A grade riders made that decisive move and got away. This group either just too closely matched, or no one quite willing to make a move, knowing that we do have that downhill section after this. Maybe they're going to back themselves on that final climb. This is setting itself up for some phenomenal finishes to these races if we do get a group sprint up that final short climb, and looking encouraging. So let's we'll just sit in with these for a group for a little bit longer. I've got a little bit of pace from an A grade rider here in the peloton, just dragging these guys a little bit along. They've already got a pretty commanding grab on the chasing riders, so our winner and our podium will come from this group. Ian Barrett just using that draft well here, sitting in the front. Askew from Jet, who we saw just dropping off the A peloton as they rolled through Nyoko after the Slot Canyon climb. At the back, some nice efforts here from our two OTR teammates. Julian didn't have his OTR jersey ready yet, but rest assured he is on the roster. We're very happy to have him. Hendrik following close behind. As this does start to stretch out just a little bit. But a little bit of relief coming for Julian. He's just going to hold on. Just hold those wheels. Got two A-graders at the front. Stretching things a little bit. Don't have to worry about them. That's fine. They can do what they want. We've got to worry about these B-grade riders who don't look like they're going to split. Lovely effort here now from Julian. Get back onto those wheels. Make sure he sits in the draft for a little bit of recovery on this flat section. Below doing the same. So just a really, really evenly matched group here. You can see Adam Upshaw doing his best to make the most of this aggression from the A-grade group. We do see some little time gaps emerging here. Just wondering if this could be the move that finally breaks this group. We've got one final kicker to come. And we're going to sit in with this group here. Henrik Buller digging deep, closing this gap. We've got a little bit of a split. But these four at the back, not going to let that happen as the road has kicked up again. They just put in a little bit more effort here. Closing this gap, bring this group all back together. Let's give our OTR teammates a little bit of encouragement. They're digging deep now. Almost there. Almost see the banner now. Still a little pace from the A-grade. And the wheels just losing them a little bit. 2-second gap now to Ambrose. We'll jump in with him. He's so close. So close. He's just got to make that banner. Stretching now. Stretching. Adam Upshaw taking up the initiative. Simon Fox in the wheel. Pushing orange numbers. 8 watts a kilo. Just got to get that wheel out of the saddle. Pushing a big gear. It flattens out now. They've got a little bit of time before that banner to get back on. Swing around. Hendrik now off the back. Danger time now for Hendrik. For Hendrik Buller. We've got to stitch up these gaps before we get onto this descent. You see orange numbers at the front. Ambrose just trying to get on. We do have a 2-second gap in Barrett again. 8 watts a kilo. Just trying to get some momentum here. What's going to happen up the front here? Are these two? Is Simon Fox continuing to pile the pressure on? And two groups now, are they going to come together on this descent? It's so close. They just have to close this gap. And really nice riding here. But we've lost two, Hendrik Buller and Hendrik. Not game over, these two by any stretch. But 7 seconds, if they work together and this front group sits up, anything is possible. But we might have lost our front two. We might be down to 5 B-grade riders on this descent. We'll come back and check on them in a second. Let's go and see our C-grade. So remember, we had 3 C-grade riders in our lead group and 3 chasing. So we see we've still got, excuse me, still got William Webb. We still have Mikkel Strangard Kirk. Nice and cozy in this group. Martin Scarpa, though, hasn't been able to hold the pace up the Temple KOM. He's distanced now, and this other group of 3 seem to be well distanced. So Martin Scarpa now trying to hold on to third. That'd be a good one to watch to see if he can hold off this group of 3 riders that have worked pretty well together. Or now we see Carlos Angioni just turning the screws on his compatriots from this chasing group. Maybe had a bit of enough and seeing Martin off the back now. So an interesting C-grade race. Looks like we could have another. This could be another race in 2 now. William Webb and Mikkel Strangard Kirk over the top of the Temple KOM with a nice healthy group of Bs, and it looks like they will be contesting the C-grade race. Ooh, we've got some action back in D as well. We see... Now, is this group all together? We have a video. We have Griffiths. Yeah, all together. Okay, Zwift Power Live had these guys showing us a little bit of a gap, but I think... Let's have a look here. Let's get them all in. So starting to stretch, but still our front group of 8 with a video. Our Romanian rider just pushing the pace a little bit. Room with Lee Zambino at the back of this group now. Similar story to watching the B grade riders here. Wheels are starting to get lost. Some gaps starting to open up. Come on, Lee. One more dig. One more dig. He's just got to get up to this flat section. See if we can stitch back these gaps that are opening up. It does look like they are bringing it back together. Let's go back to the front and have a look at the pace that is being set here by Ovidiu. Nice move here as it does flatten out. Just trying to capitalize on the gains made over that bridge. And stretching it now, that gap opening up for a few seconds, 4 seconds back to Pete K and Griffiths. 7 seconds back to Lee Zambino. And the rest look like they have been dropped on this climb. So down to 4 in D grade. A video now. 2-second lead, but has friends. Plenty of friends, which is really, really nicely done. Nice efforts back here. Let's sit in with Pete from Dirt. We've got 2 teammates here, Pete and Griffiths. Really, really nice dig here on this steeper section. 67 cadence, grinding a big gear, latching back onto this group. Really, really nice effort here. As we see Lee just off the back. 5 seconds now. Looks like this group's coming back together. Maybe leaving Lee behind. Speaking of leaving people behind, a video is gone. Wow. What a fantastic little effort this is. Let's have a look at who we have here. So not a name I know. Just going by P a video, so we'll stick with it. A gap on here. This is going to be interesting. They're going to run out of climb. Looks like the strength here for a video really put the hurt on this group. It's going to crest in front, but not dominantly so. And this is going to be a hard gap to hold. We do have 16 kilometers further to go, but it's going to crest with a, what was that, about 8-second gap over Pete K and Griffiths, both from the Dirt team. Look, they're going to latch back on. Lee just distanced off the back here. This is going to be a hard chase. Looks like he's going to be left on his own, sort of stuck in the middle, battling for 4th position. While we see what happens up the front with the rest of the D grade podium. All right, I think we're due back up the front, but let's quickly, if we can. I do got to get onto this source thing. I can't believe I hadn't thought of that before for the commentary. Just going to go to ZP Live. Ooh. Big moves. Big moves in E grade on this climb. I need to go a bit further up the field than this. Gaps are all over the place. I'm just trying to find who we have in. I need to go a little bit further up because this group are. Here we go. Okay, room with Chris, but Chris is no longer in the lead. Big turnaround in the E grade race. Wow. This is actually our leading group. So Martin Heinzelman, Marco Italiani, Christoph Russo, and Chris Eames at the front here. And this is now the leading group in E. So they managed to reel in Chris, HSN. I mentioned Russo. Russo looks like he's been dropped as well. So a battle in 3 now for the E-grade race, possibly 2. Oh, let's just sit in with Chris. Can he get back on over this bridge? We have seen so many races come to an end on this section of the course. Yes. Yeah, my fingers are going to get cramped from all this scrolling trying to find riders. Big fields. Makes it hard. Makes it hard. Chris dropping off the pace here just a little bit. So looks like another battle in 2 maybe. Italiani and Heinzelman. Stuck with it. Worked really well as a group to try and chase down that lone leader for E-grade, and they've climbed phenomenally well here. Riding away now from Chris and from the rest of the field. So a race in 2 for the E-grade as well. So we're going to have some fantastic battles, I think, to watch, and maybe some opportunity to come back together there as well. Let's jump back up the front. Just in time to see some aggression. 23 seconds now. Wow, this group have got moving. Here we go. We have about 6 kilometers to go, 53.4 in total. So that leaves us with maths, 5.6 kilometers left in this race. All right, I think we're going to have to now just wait for each of these groups to come through to the finale. So let's sit in with the A's from here and watch this chase. This is going to be a fascinating one. Maybe we can get back to the B's and just double check on how that battle has gone. But Jonas Saber, Adrian Griffin, we saw them out to a 47-second lead, I think, at its maximum. But on that fast descent now and heading out to this final kicker up the Festival Harbour climb. Yes. 22 seconds now. But holding, I wonder where the peloton made up this ground, because right now, gap is not closing. Still nicely bunched, 23 seconds now. Really nice work here from these front 2. Yeah, Stefan, it's looking good. It is looking good. I mean, I got a little bit of a shock with just how much that gap had closed, but yep, under 5Ks left to go now. 24 seconds, just extending it out. We're seeing enough cooperation from this peloton. That's the thing. After all these climbs, do they have it left? We see Adelaide doing their very best to get this moving, though. I've got to do a little bump here. I forgot that we went over this Mech Isle climb. That's probably not going to be too impactful to any of these races, unless you really wanted to go long and make an effort at it. But given everything that these groups have survived, you wouldn't think that this little pimple in the profile is going to make too much of a difference. This is looking like head-to-head battle up the final climb. Agreed. I think 24 seconds. I got excited. When I flicked back and they'd gone from 47 to 21 and thinking they could do it, but as we see now, it has become a bit of a stalemate. These 2 at the front, very strong riders, very well known to the ECRO community, and continuing to show why they are so successful and so strong, and they're working well together too. As we see Adrian Griffin coming through, taking his turn on the front, trying to preserve this gap. 3.5 kilometers to go. Only a few minutes. I'm going to sit in with them on the video while I go and check Zwift Power Live. So in the B grade race, we saw Hendrik Billow and Hendrik dropping off. That is still the case. They're 10 seconds behind a group of 5. So Ian Barrett, Julian Olea, Mike Ambrose, Simon Fox, and Adam Upshaw. 10 seconds ahead. That looks actually like a good battle. I'm curious to see what this 10 seconds looks like. So this is our leading group. We've got 5 here, and this is a chase that might get there. Henrik and Hendrik, Bullo and Romans Finkel Working together here, can they close this gap? This is about the gap that we saw through the Temple KOM banner, about that 10 seconds. Got it down to 8 or 9. Some big watts here from Henrik on the front. These two working really, really hard to try and bring this back together before we get to that finale. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Get back up the front because we are heading to these final couple of kilometers now. Just 2.5 kilometers to the top. And this is it. This is the big finish. Just like the pros, they'll be heading up to Siena. We'll be heading up to the Schuster Sprint. Let's take a moment to enjoy the scenery that Zwift put on for us here. What a fantastic finish as the road starts to tick up. These two out for 30 seconds lead now. The peloton, they've put their sword away. They've showed it. They're going to race for third, and that'll be a good fight as well. But we're going to sit in with these front two. The winner away early, Adrian Griffin, the first one to make a move. He's up to 9 watts a kilo. Straight into the orange numbers, not waiting for anything. Not going to wait. Maybe he doesn't really like his kick. Remember, we do go over top of this climb, and we do have a couple of 100 meters of flat road. So if you don't fancy your flat sprint, this is where it has to happen. Jonas Saber, though, so far able to match it. And we're going to go 10 watts a kilo the whole way home by the look of it. We've still got 1.7 kilometers to go. Huge effort from these guys. Adrian Griffin trying to put this one away, but Jonas Saber not letting him get away. He's in the wheel. We can't see the draft indicator, but we know he's there. Going absolutely nowhere. Adrian just easing off the pace a little bit now. Jonas able to sit back in. Back down to 5 watts a kilo, and let's take a breath. Take a breath. Adrian easing off. Jonas just settling. See these guys, 171 beats a minute, 188 for Jonas. There can't be much headroom left. You can see now on the profile. This is the last of the elevation game. The last tricky gradients, and then it is a flat finish. They've absolutely gapped the peloton now. 45 seconds back to them. It is down to these two. Adrian Griffin on the front. A little bit of a lull over the bridge. Canny riding from these guys down under 2 watts a kilo, almost track standing on this bridge, waiting for this final little kick up. They've got the gap. They can play games. They can take their time. OKG. Jonas on the front now. Adrian in the wheel. Adrian looked like he wanted to put it away. He looked like he wanted to finish it on the slope. He didn't look like he wanted to wait for the flat roads. He's going to go first. He's going to try and do it on the hill. Adrian Griffin takes off 13 watts a kilo. He's trying to end it. Jonas Saber can't do it. He can't match it. He can't match it. Adrian Griffin. 13 watts a kilo. He is stomping. He is absolutely crushing this final rise. He's up and over. He's got a 3-second lead. And it's all over. Jonas Saber can't follow. Adrian Griffin out 5 seconds now. Let's sit in with him. He's done it on that last little bump. It didn't look like much on the profile. Just a few hard pedal strokes, but just the power at the end. We'll sit in with him as he can enjoy this now. Roll through to the banner. What a phenomenal surge that was to finally crack Jonas Saber. Adrian Griffin takes out Chasing Bianche. What a start to the season for the team. Jonas Saber will roll through in second. And let's jump back in with this A-grade peloton. We see Aliso from CC looking to make it 2 CC riders on the podium. He's kicked away from a big chasing group. Onto the flat roads now. It looks like they're not going to catch him either. The battles for minor placings only now. We see Aliso from Sisu able to cruise in. He will take third. And the bunch kick now comes. Christian Grupp goes to the front. Going to push for fourth. Big sprint numbers now. Kirimbini in his wheel. Is he going to be able to follow? Yes, he does come over the top. Beautiful sprint from Kirimbini to round out our top 5 along with Christian Grupp. Ah, phenomenal A-grade race. Excellent racing, and just in time for us to get in with our B-graders. So we have Ian Barrett, we have Mike Ambrose, and look who we have. We have Henrik Bulow, we have Henrik Romansfinkel. They've closed the gap. It was 8 seconds. It was 8 seconds, all on their own. Done it. And what a setup we have now. 7 riders for B grade onto this final climb. Barnstorming finish. Mike Ambrose, Simon Fox from Dirt, Henrik Romansfinkel from OTR, Adam Upshaw from Dirt, Julian Olea from OTR, Ian Barrett from Evolve, and Hendrik Bulow from ECKD. The Danish team. Who is it going to be? Onto the final climb now. Ian Barrett taking it up. Who's got the flat sprint? Who's got the punchy kick for the hill? Some very experienced riders in this group. Some very strong sprinters too. Simon Fox now, 4.5 watts a kilo. It's just a solid tempo. No moves yet from this group. They've been so closely matched ever since they came together. The A-grade riders went away in that canyon climb, and this group has stuck together. They dropped Hendrik up the Temple KOM. Those 2 fought back. We have 7 going to the line. David has jumped in. Great effort, buddy. That was a spicy start to the season, as we expected. Ian Barrett now on the front for the Evolve team. We've got about 1.5 Ks. We've seen the finish now. You know how it works. We've seen that final little rise being the decisive one. So who's got the kick? Who's going to make the move? Adam Upshaw now moving to the front. Plenty of riders here happy to keep this one moving. They've got a gap. There's no need for anything right now, but maybe keen to blunt the sprint of their rivals. 2 OTR riders here. I'll be cheering them home. Going to be a great points haul for us. Both teammates of mine. I'm going to get some water in before this finish. As we see now, Adam Upshaw just continuing this hard tempo. Ian Barrett upping it to 6 watts a kilo. He doesn't look like he wants to sprint. He wants to finish this now. We're coming up now to the final bit of gradient now where you can really make a difference. If watts per kilo is your thing, we know it's tricky. We should love to see a sprint finish here, and we might, because no one's making a decisive break here just yet. Simon Fox, though, looking to end it on this critical bump. He moves to the front. He's got a couple of bike length lead. Who can follow? Ian Barrett's trying. He's up to 7 watts a kilo. Ambrose trying. Simon Fox pushing hard. He hasn't got a decisive gap yet, though. He's going to run out of road too. We're going to be getting onto flatter roads here now, and we saw how quickly those riders closed in the sprint. Although one of the places, Julian Olea now pushing hard into the wheel. We've got an A-grade rider in front, providing a really handy draft. And we are going to get a flat sprint finish here, as we get a little bit of a gap behind. So we've got Simon Fox, we've got Julian Olea, Ian Barrett, Ambrose, Romansfinkel, Upshaw, Bulow just off the back. It's going to be between these 3. Who's going to be our A-grade riders? Go. Simon Fox at the front. Here comes Julian Olea. 10 watts a kilo. Go, Julian. Go, Julian. He's done a phenomenal sprint. Julian Olea wins slot 1 for B-grade. Simon Fox in second. Ian Barrett in third. And that is our podium. That is a win for OTR. Race 1, slot 1. Phenomenal sprint. What a battle. What a battle that B-grade race was. Hendrik, amazing effort to chase. Probably burnt the legs a bit for that final climb, and we just saw 3 go away there. Simon Fox, great effort to try and win it on the climb. His 5-minute watt per kilo is amazing. Really tried to put that to the test. It just wasn't quite enough to dislodge Julian Olea, who came late with a big 10 watts a kilo plus sprint, and he takes the win for the B grade race. And now let's jump into C. And C grade race is not far behind. I've missed this climb, so we got to get our head around here. So we have Mikkel Strandgaard-Kirk and William Webb, our 2 C grade riders. Let's have a look. I think it's just these 2. Yes, it is. Okay. 2 riders to the line. So they're right in each other's wheel now as well. So we have Mikkel here in the red DZR Danish kit. We have William up ahead in the Cryogen kit. And William's the one taking the initiative here. Right now, Mikkel can see his wheel. He's right there. He's right there and he's going to chase it. Here comes Mikkel. He's tried to put in his sprint. Looks like he might have ended it though. William Webb just holding. Mikkel trying to get back onto his wheel. I don't think he's going to get there. William Webb holding a beautiful tempo. Didn't have to sprint, just had to hold it hard. William Webb from Team Cryogen takes out the C grade race. These 2 phenomenal head-to-head battle all race. Mikkel got out on his own, got dropped, got picked up again, and looks like he just both of them just had no sprint left at the end. Just had to be a solid tempo effort there from William Webb as he takes out the C grade race. I think we've got a moment to catch our breath here, and we'll watch the battle for the final spot on that C grade podium. And then we have a battle in 3 for D grade coming up behind. So Ovidiu, Pete Keller, and Sean Griffiths. Remember Pete and Sean, the dirt duo, taking on the Romanian rider Ovidiu for the win. King Julian. Yes, indeed. All right. Our C grade riders now. Alfang, they're the familiar name. Pushing to the front. This is that final little kicker, remember, as we have several C grade riders here working to see who can take that final podium spot. Al leading it out now, but plenty of interest from behind. Still KG. No one really putting in the big watts just yet. Who's take it up? Wheeler from CYE. Front. Very nervous. No one willing to make that move. Who's going to go for that 3rd podium spot? Big points available. Who's going to kick it off? We see Harmsworth is a bit of a diesel, and he's going to try and do it the diesel way. 5.6 watts a kilo. He's going to try and do it flat. Who can take it? Can someone out sprint him? Yes, they are. We've got top. We've got Dean over the top. Martin Scappa. Oh, Martin Scappa gets there. Great finish, Martin Scappa. He was in that front 3, got dropped over the climb, and timed that sprint to perfection. Dave Harmsworth went for it, with his classic diesel style, trying to hold off just with a solid tempo, but still some kick left in the legs behind. And Martin Scappa may have got dropped from that leading group of 3, but made up for it late with a fantastic move there. As we jump in with the battle for the D grade race, a video. We saw how well this rider climbed on the Temple KOM. Put in a big gap. They managed to latch back on. We thought maybe they'd get away all on their own, but we now see that we have Sean Griffiths and Pete Keller off the back now. So maybe this is our podium already sorted. We've got 5 seconds to Sean Griffiths in second, another 5 seconds to a video on this flat section now. And a video just has one more ramp to contend with. 5 seconds to play with. Wheels to follow. If they can get over this bump, plenty of draft for this final flat section. A video now 4 seconds to Griffiths. 3 seconds now. Griffiths has got one more dig, does he? Sean Griffiths. Pete Keller's 8 seconds back. Looks like he'll roll into third. Here comes Sean Griffiths. 3 seconds behind. Can he make it up? The video not showing a kick just yet. As the C-graders start to ramp things up, Shaun Griffiths, you can see them. They're right there. Can he make it? Can he make it into those wheels before they hit onto that descent? He's got the P74. He's got a fast machine on this flat bit. If he can just close this gap. Still 3 seconds to a video. Hasn't kicked. Just hold the tempo. Has wheels. Can Griffiths come back? Come back. We're going to come around. We're going to see the banner now. Win with Shaun Griffiths currently second. Does he have a kick left? Does the video have a kick? Still the gap's 3 seconds. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. We're sitting in with a video from Romania. Has been the #1 rider so far. Now he kicks. The video keeps all he's got left. He's holding the gap. He's going to go to the line. He's got some wheels. Brilliant riding, brilliant climbing from a video. Just clearly the strongest on the hills. And a video takes out Chasing Bianche for the D grade. Shaun Griffiths, brilliant ride, rolling into second. And his teammate Pete Keller rolling in for third. Dirt taking 2 spots on the podium. And my mate Lee couldn't quite match these engines on the Temple KOM, but he's managed to hold off all the chases. Phenomenal individual effort there. And Lee looks like he will roll home for 4th. Just one more race to resolve then. And we've only got a couple of Ks to go, so let's sit in with them. This E-grade race has been an absolute belter. Ooh, looks like Chris, who was up with this group, Chris Eames, not able to stay with them. And Chris has dropped back, and so we're going to have another head-to-head battle up this hill. What a phenomenal finish this is. Really, really good entertainment. So our front two, Marco Italiani from Team Italy, Martin Heinzelmann from Riding Dirtier from the Dirt Squad. These two have been evenly matched all night. Nighttime for me. It might be morning where you are. They've worked well. They've been in groups. They chased the runaway leader, Chris HSN. They brought him back. And now they're going to go to the line together as this road starts to tick up. Back on our starting climb. Marco Italiani versus Martin Heinzelmann for our final race of the night. Marco looks like he's kind of keen to make a statement here early. But now Heinzelmann, big dig up 4.5 watts a kilo. He's following that D-grade rider. Marco and the Team Italy blue kit. The Azzurro, of course, just responding now. He's not going to let Heinzelmann have it all his own way. Back onto the wheel, Sylvia. Smart riding, just using these riders ahead, getting back on terms. Sustained ramp here. Heinzelmann easing off. Here comes Italiani. Back on terms now, taking up the initiative. 4.2 watts a kilo, looking to counterattack. Is Heinzelmann done? Italiani now looking to make the winning move. Heinzelmann trying to respond. 67 RPM, he's grinding, but Italiani's riding away. Heinzelmann took up the initiative, but Italiani responded. And this climb is not going to end quick enough for Martin Heinzelmann, I don't think. 4-second gap now for Italiani. He's got wheels to follow too. He's got some good draft here from Oliver Nissen and Sylvia from the Zabi team. 5-second gap now. Just too strong on this final climb. Marco Italiani riding away with it. 7 seconds now, just has to hold these two and ride with them all the way home. Beautiful effort there. Looked like he might be in trouble early. There was a few meters gap there to Heinzelmann's wheel. Heinzelmann took up the initiative early. Italiani knew his pacing, eased himself into the climb, and has proven to be too strong in race number 1 of the ECRO series in E-grade. So we'll sit in with him, take him through to the finish. But hey, thanks for joining. I thoroughly enjoyed that. 5 exceptional races, awesome finishes, some great climbing. We saw races split. We saw them come back together. Just some phenomenal individual efforts, and thoroughly enjoyed bringing it to you. Thanks for jumping in the comments. That always helps to know that we've got some people watching. I've really enjoyed bringing this to you. I will try and do as many of these as I can fit in, but right now I'm going to call it a night because I'm going to be racing first thing in the morning. So thanks for joining, and I will catch you next time.